Hello everyone. Yes, am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, good evening, Raj. Where is there? Sally is there. Alka is there. Aditya is not there today. Okay. So let's continue the session of this. Oops. Again, I will explain few things to you. Where is that? Class we is like a template. Suppose you create a template of writing a letter, a business letter, something like that, and you have kept some fill in the blanks, the name of the person to whom you and the address, and also in the body of the letter you have kept somewhere fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, and this all. So class is like that template basically, and there are instance is an object basically, and there are two sort of variable, instance variable and the class variable basically. So as you see here, the first what I created a class, I again describe these all things in a flow so you could better understand the thing.
So screen is not visible.
Okay, sorry. Now is it visible to you now? So here I am again reviewing it. So here I am making a class employee and just pass it. I am not passing any function. I am not defining any function inside it. I just pass it. I will pass something later on. If I don't pass anything here, what will happen? When I am creating a class, I should pass something there. If I remove this and I run this, I will get one error. Okay. So whenever I create a class, there is a need of something is to be passed over there. So I just pass it. I'm making two instances. One is John and the Babita, two objects, John and in this class employee. And I am making the instance variable. These are the instance variable because I have not taken any variable, the init. With the init function, I have not used init constructor. I have not used any variable. So we don't have the class variable. We have the instance variable. These are the instance variable basically. So John dot first name is John. John dot last name is Matthew, and John dot salary is 60,000. And when I try to print John, then it will give me the location where it is saved. The John is where it has been stored. So this I get. Also, if I create this and I run this, so I get the position of this. Okay. Now, if I want to print the John dot file name, so I will get the John, that is obviously I will get the, because the John dot file name is John, so I will get that thing. Similarly, I will get the John dot last name, so I will get the Matthew. So in this way, I could access this instance variable. But when I use the instance method, the first method of my class, called method is the regular instance method. And here we use a init function where the self is a default parameter. It is the, and then whatever the variables we will write, they are called the class variables. And the self, the init constructor will, whenever we create an object, then will this init function will initiate with the object. And this self is for uh, for itself. Self means and it will access this thing, the John self, then the self dot name. So it will access that thing with the John if we write. So if I'm writing the John dot salary, so what I am getting, the salary of John itself. So that is the, so I am creating one object here, employee, with the class variables like John, Matthew, and 60,000. These I have the for Babita also. And if I just run this, print John and Babita, I will get the location of where it is. It has been located, where it has been stored. So it will show me that object location, where is John and where is Babita in my system, where it has been stored. But if I use the John dot salary, now I don't have the instance variable John dot salary, but I have the John and Babita. I have created two object, two instance, and I'm using the variable, the class variable I'm using like salary. Okay, and then name, you could also use the last first name and the last name you could apply there. So it is showing us the salary. So why we are using this class? Suppose we are making one uh, big program, and we have divided the program in different part. Okay, and suppose if I take example of a game, the computer game or whatever we are going to. So one person, we have given the task to create the warriors in the game. Second person in creating the background. In this way, the different persons, we have given the different tasks. So they will all perform their classes and everything. And we don't have to explain them the whole this class method, everything. We just give how to create the, what is the class and what are the attributes. So they will use it. That is the thing. Reusability of the functions and codes we apply here. So up to here, are you okay with this? Why we are creating this class? Why we are using it? Now we go one step further, and here I am using the init, and here I am using this variable, and this increment I am writing here. That is the class attribute. Number of employees also there. Init is a constructor, and here I am also, this I explained you yesterday, so I think there is no need to explain this in detail. Okay, but few things I would like to explain here, that this dict, so in dict you will get the thing, the man, the increment 1.5, every step you will get here. Here you see the increment is 1.5 here, and then number of employee, and the init, in the init what we have, the function employee init, we have this position increase, and this all it will give us. Later on I will explain you how we get the flow chart of this all. in the class method, why we use this class method basically? Because we want to access this. I don't want to write anything here, and the later on I don't want to use the self, and I will use the class method, the class decorator, and through this I could access the class also. So up to here, these two functions I have defined. One for the init, that is the, and second is the increase. The self dot salary init is the integer, not in, and the self dot salary into self increment, and the class the change increment. Okay. Uh, Sometimes we use this class method for the alternative. Okay. So class and amount, class increment. So you see, I have created two objects here, and when I print the employee dot number of employee. So because I have created two, so I will get the two number of employee. And if I want to print the Babita salary, so Babita salary would be the previous salary I will get there. Okay, and then employee change underscore increment. So employee change underscore increment, if I apply, so as per the specific increment I could provide to the employee. Is it clear? A specific increment I could apply to for the different employees. So Babita dot increase the employee change increment 3, Babita dot increase, and the print Babita dot salary. If I run this, so you will get the Babita salary is 3 times now. If I write here only 2 times, I will get the 2 times. So in this way, employee dot change increment 2 and Babita increase, then I use this increase function is here. So Babita increase, then I will get the self dot salary init cell dot salary self increment. So cell increment, I have the change increment, I have written the 2 times. Here you see it is also 2 times. If I write here 1.5 times, see what happens. I write here 1.5 times. It would be better. And I run it. What I am getting here? It is 2 times. It is not 1.5 times. If I, sorry. You see, if I don't write this employee dot change increment in this class method, what I have taken this function, I am not using it, and I am just using the Babita dot increase, then I am getting the 1.5 times of that. Does that make sense to you? Is it clear? Okay. So this you have to use again, because the class we use for the reusability, and reduce the coding. But here I am just tell you opposite. You run this again and again, you use it again and again, and then you could better understand this. It is not basically for the data science and data analytics, but it is a part of a Python language. So that so why we are learning this, the OOPS concept. It is not being used in the data analytics part. It is being used in the machine learning, in the chatbot when we prepare and these sort of things, and the image classification model. There we require these OOP concepts. Without OOPS, we could also do the things. It is not compulsory to use the OOP concept and these all class method, these all no. Without this also you could perform the task, but it reduces your time and everything, and it gives the systematic way to do the thing. So here I will show you one more thing in the class method, that is the alternative constructor. So you see what I am doing here, from a string, instead of a string I should say that from days, because we are splitting through days. Sometimes people what do, they write in this way. I want to write the things. I told to the employee, you write in this way or some other way, and then I will break this, split this in this form. I want to split this in this form. I don't want to write, it will take more time. I have to use the quotes, then comma, then quotes, then comma. You just use the one code and you use the hyphen or whatever the specific symbol we have suggested them. They use it, this forward slash or whatever. They could do it. Okay. So we are making a class method for days. The class, the employee string, and this is the employee information in a string, and the first name, last name, salary. And these all three things are there in this employee string. And the employee string dot is split by the hyphen, because we are taking the separator is hyphen. And what we want in return, we want the class, we want this all thing in a separate form like this. File name, file name, I always say the file name. It is the first name, last name, and the salary. Is it clear? So this two is okay as per our this class employee, the bare class. We know that it is okay with the init. We write in this way, the general way.
Just a minute. Nirik, we found out all primers, so all are in the James box. So maybe next week I will run this.
You should just check if it can be.
So what we do here, whenever we get in this form, we have make another class method, which we don't want to use it the self, and we are using the class as our default instance. And we will use this class from underscore days. I have given the name to this, so I will the same name I will use here. And I run it. If I want to know the Hari salary, it should be 75,000. I should have. It is the 75,000. Got it? Does that make sense to everyone? As an alternator, we could use it. Okay. Now the static method. Static method you could use outside the class also. That is the general function we are going to define. We could define somewhere else, but the some functions we want, that is a generic function, and we want to put in the class, we could access through the class. So we write that sort of function that they should they will not take the class attributes, and they will just give whatever we have written here. Whatever we have written here. The is underscore open. I have taken this function. I am defining the static method, and the day. So it doesn't have any relation with this all. Have no relation. We could define it separately, independently, outside the class also. But we want it should be inside the class. So we are putting here. It is the static method. Decorate. Okay. So you see the class, because we have written in the class, and the John employee is also one object of that, and the John is underscore open. If I write, then it will access through the object also, and we are taking the object, and this is the our function is underscore open. And with the class name, we could also, with the object and with the class, we could access this thing. Does that make sense to everyone? I have taken one more example for this, for explaining this static method. I'm calling a library, importing a library date time. Okay. And the class person I am using here, the init is the self name and age. Okay. Self.name and self.age. a class method to create a person object by the birth year. So I am using the class method, and this the define the from birth year, and the CLS would be there because the class method, the name and year, in which year, the birth year of birth, and the return the class name, date dot today dot year. Okay, and minus year, whatever the year we have written this. And today's year, it will minus the birth year, birth year. This is the birth year, and this is the today's year. So this I have made one class method. Then I will show you the static method also. A static method to check if a person is adult or not. So it is no any relevant of this define is adult age. So return age is greater than 18. If the age is greater than 18, then it will give us the true, otherwise it will give us the false. So it doesn't have any relevant thing with this class, and we are taking the something out of this, and we want to give the true and false as per whatever the values we are getting out of this return through the class method or through the some other function. So what I am doing here, why it is so, it is the person one. Person, I could write any name, Mayank 21, and I could use the year, suppose the Mayank 51, I write here because I have taken the 1969, and the print person one dot age. So age is here, person dot age, I will get, and person two object I have created, person dot from birth year. Person dot from birth year. So I have to give the two arguments. One is the name, second is the year. So name is Mayank and the 1969. And I want to print the person dot age, person one dot age, and person two dot age. Because I have taken the both place the class, and I just comment for a moment, and I explain this. You see, if I write the age is 51 years, here I have written the 51 years, and I am writing the 1969. Otherwise, I could use this one, person. I don't have to use anything there because it is the init. It is the class attributes I am writing in this way. And this is the some other class method I have used. So I have to write down the method of that class with the bare class, and the main class, and then I will write the attributes of that class method. And I'm getting both 51, 51. It is up to the class method. I have not talked about the static method. Now we will see the output of the static method, because we have got the 51 years. So here what we have to write? We have to write the age. Here we have to write the age. Age is 51. If I write the 51 age is adult through the static method, I will get it is true. It is adult. Is adult. If I write something separately, it doesn't have any relation with this. If I write here 17, what I get here? False. It is still it is working. Still it is working. Got it?
So can we put person one dot age inside this function?
Inside the function here?
Inside. P small, sir.
Oh, sorry. I have taken the P small. Sorry. That is true. It's
Okay.
the 51 years. We could use other than this also here, and it will work. I mean to say that the static function. Got it? Okay. And then we were talking about the inheritance yesterday. And inheritance, we have taken the one programmer and just we have passed it. And John and programmer, through the programmer, we could also access the thing. And the John, we could create the object with the programmer subclass also. That is the inherent class. And the main class is called the bear class basically. So we could use this inherent class. We could also put this thing, and we could use the, if you want to use the employee, you could use the employee also. It will work in the same way. First thing is that now we pass here some in this inherent class. We use the init and we give the name whatever the in the main class we have to put those all. Along with that, the what are the specific the programming language and the experience we are putting here, and the super dot init I explained you yesterday, we will use for the super class, or we could say the bear class. And then the other what we are, just a moment. So here you see we have the inheritance, and then in the inheritance we suppose the developer do the more work, then they do some hard work than other employees, and so they are giving, we are giving 0.2 times more increment to them. Okay, so the self salary multiplied by self dot increment plus 0.2. So the actual increment what we are giving to the general employee 1.5. Is it? But for the programmer, we want to give more increment. So when I will use the object as a programmer subclass, then I have to write the all 5 parameters. We have the 5 parameters. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I create an object with employee class or the super class or the bear class, then I have to use the 3 attributes only. three variables: the file name, first name, last name, salary. So that is the thing. And the Babita I have used as Babita is a programmer and John is an employee. But I don't know the John is where in which department. We could create some other subclasses, and we could also assign the John. John may be in the back office, John may be in the sales. And we could create a class for the sales also. And then we could put some other attributes like the region, in which region he is working, and the product. We could also say that which the product means that the he's working with the mobile application task. He's selling that the web application or the data science, machine learning. There is various sales team have a specific like that. So that's we could create, and you try to create one subclass for the cells. So I will just show you here. Babita is programmer. Now the print Babita salary first. The previous salary, whatever we have fed here, the Babita salary is the 45,000. So it will give us the 45,000. Then I see the Babita increase. So Babita increase would be 1.7%, not the 1.5. And the print the Babita salary. And then similarly, we are doing for the John also. So we are using the John dot increase, and then we print the John salary. So that would be the 1.5 times only. So I run this and I will show you this. So is it okay now? Got it? Is it clear? Any doubt? Okay.
Sir, what is that help programmer?
I will explain you that. I am coming on that point. If I write the help programmer, or I could write the print help programmer. It will give me the all what I have taken there. If I write the employee, so I will get from the bare class. I first write the employee, then I will show you. You see the help on the class module in module main, the class employee built-in objects are there. I have not put anything. I have put there anything? No. And then the employee, first name, last name, and the salary. These are the attributes of the employee. Method defined here. The init method I have used for this. Initialize self, see help type self, the accurate signature. The increase self I have used here. Another function. What it? So it will give me the just like a flow chart or whatever you say it. Okay. So we'll get the class method defined here, class underscore increment. So then we have defined one class method after that function. So it is showing that the class method, class underscore increment amount for built-in type, from built-in side, built-in function from str. So here I have taken the str. Last time we have changed it, days. We have put the days last time, so I put the days here also, and here also. And I have used is not. No, I have not used it. I will just run it. So you'll see it that we are getting here now from underscore days, employee underscore string built-in type. So built-in types, from built-in types we are using that. Where is it? Okay, built-in type. So it is like this. We are taking the CLS. And then what we are using is underscore static method we have used is underscore open day. Data description dictionary for the instance variable, it defined the weak reference list of the weak references to the object if defined. And data and the other attributes defined here, the increment 1.5 in the number of employee 2, and none because we have not taken anything in the return. We have taken here in return something. No. Okay. So why we are getting none? If I don't write this print and I run it, you will see I will not get the none. Okay. So print will return with something always. So does that make sense to everyone? Is it clear? Yes, Raj, you asked this thing. Okay. So with this help, with the class name, you could see the whole flowchart, how your class has been created. You could understand it. Now the Dunder method is what? Dunder method, you see, this is also a Dunder method. It is a constructor. And we use the some Dunder method, like I explain you few things. Suppose we are using this. I will just do one by one. These are the same thing I am using. I will tell you later on. This all. This also I will tell you later. First I explain the Dunder method, then I will do that. This also I comment it. This is the same function what we have been using there, and I also comment this because we have not used it. Up to here, we have the same copy paste. I have done the same thing in the previous set. And here I am creating three objects, Nilesh, John, and Babita. Or all the object through the employee class. Okay, attributes. And if we use the 4 plus 6 in the print, I just want to show you this thing. So you will get the 10. I will just comment this also. You get the 10. And if I use the like this in the quotes, that number and John, if I don't use here quotes, I will get some error. Okay, because the one is character, one is a string, one other is not a string. So both should be string. So I will get concatenate this. Okay, otherwise I could use the two numbers also. See one by one. So I will get the 9802 in this way. It is in quotes. If it is not in quotes, I will get the summation of this. So the function is same. The plus function we are using. Okay. And this thing is called the polymorphism. Okay. The same function we are using for some different objectives, different purpose. The plus function we are using for the adding and we are using for the concatenation. And we have some Dunder method. And suppose if I give a is equal to 6 and I use a Dunder method for the addition. We have the various Dunder method, the addition and the multiplication. So this a I am taking here, a dot the Dunder method and 7 I am taking. So 6 plus 7 I must get, how much I must get? 13. So I will get that 13. If I use instead of add, I will use the MUL and I run it. 7 6 of 42, it is the multiplication Dunder method. As I have used downware also. So these are the Dunder method we use sometimes. And I also uncomment this. This I explained you earlier. Don't worry. And we run this, so it is the 13 and 42. Now the print Babita plus Nilesh. I just print it. I have not used any Dunder method there. The Babita and Nilesh is there. and I uncomment this and I run this. What I am getting some error. The unsupported operated types for plus employee and employee. What it? I'm not getting an output here. So why, if I use the render method like this, I use the render method. I will just show you one by one. I am using a add as a render method and self and other. So return self salary plus other salary. So self is, suppose the first one is a Nilesh or the Babita, whatever you write, the Babita is the first self. Self dot salary, other dot salary. And the other is a Nilesh here. If I run this, I see what happens. What are you getting? 75,000. 30,000 plus 45,000. How much it is? 75,000. You have just written the Babita and the Nilesh. You have not written the salary. But you have used one render method for this, for the salary. Same you could use for the render method for age and for some other numerical or whatever you have. Does that make sense to you? What is the render method? Yes. Now we use the REPR. It is for the polymorphism. And you see, I am using here. Yes.
This add render method you have mentioned, it's override the default render method, right?
What? I could not understand. What
This
you
add render method you have created in the class,
Mhm.
it will override the default render method.
Default. We have so many render method. I will show you. You could search
Okay.
through the dictionary in the. I will show you. And we could have the Python documents. We could take. Here you will see in the Python dictionary. You could You could get the render method, and I will show you the render method here. Type hierarchy and this all. Just a moment. Sorry, okay, directory. Sorry, I have written. We have the so many places you could get it. The documents. This is the good one, but we have to search under that Python details. You could get the render method. Just a moment. So these are the render methods. The documents is there. The function documentation string or the none is unavailable, the writable, and this you will see here that add function also I will show you. Somewhere it is add function. I just show you. Do self name built-in function and built-in method and dict we have seen there. Photos. Here. I could not understand. Please go to the folder where we can see in the Google search. Here. List of Python render methods we could get here also. We could go through the ABC and these these add is a render method. MUL I will show you. There are so many render methods we use here. These are basically infix as we use in the R, that is the infix method, infix function like that. So I will show you MUL is here. This is the method. We used it, got it. Length is also. Does that make sense to know? So you could search the render method. So many render methods are here. They have the different application. You have to read on the internet, then you could apply it. Okay. So REPR, I will show you. REPR. This is the REPR. Right? And one is also for the STR. I will use this also. STR. And I will show REPR and the STR I will use. And there is a list of this, and you could see the detail. You could search the detail of this somewhere in the net, why we use it. Will not go in that depth because it will take very much time. So the REPR, when I am using, it is a self parameter is here, and the return I want from this REPR, the employee, then curly bracket, then curly bracket, then curly bracket. And dot format is a function inbuilt, and the self dot name in the first place, second place self first name, and then second place the last name, third place the self. So if I run this, and if I run for John, you know that the John we have John Matthew 60,000. And if I run this REPR after the REPR, and you see what will happen. The employee John Matthew 60,000. I'm getting that. The whole thing I'm getting. I just written the John. I'm getting the all attributes of the John, what we have filled over there. But if I use the STR instead of this REPR, okay. So I will show you. When I use the STR, what will happen? I could write this thing like that. My name is the name of employee is this, and I could write the some other. The first I am taking only the name for this. You could also use for the last name and the salary. The STR for the string. We are taking a string like that. So REPR we are not getting that. We are just getting the return. Okay. If I run this again for the John, and you will see the name of the employee is John. So in this way I'm getting. So this is the difference between STR and the REPR. REPR we will get the what we always create the object, and this we get in that way. But in STR we could write the statement also. Along with the statement where we will put the curly bracket, and then we use the format function, and it will be formatted like that way. Does that make sense to everyone? Got it? Any doubt here up to now? What is the render method? What is the REPR? What is the STR? Okay. So this was all about the OOPS concept we have completed, and you have to read again and again this, and when you do 4 or 5 times, then you would better understand it. Okay. And now we start our some next thing, that is after OOPS class function arrays. Indentation class, inheritance, I have iterations. Let's go. Encapsulation and abstraction, it's nothing, it's don't have any matlab, like the command and this all. I will just tell you that, don't worry, I explain you that. Whenever we provide the details of the attributes, we provide in this way, and these all things would be the encapsulated, because it will not be shown to the publicly or the privately to the person. The person who is working on the other part of the program will just give him only this thing. You write this, then it will create and you could access this and this thing. Got it? So that is a encapsulation. The everything will be encapsulated. And the abstraction is what we saw this. So that is the abstraction. We are abstraction is just opposite of that. We could say that. Okay. If you see the definition somewhere, then you could get it better. Abstraction is hiding the implementing details. What are the implementing details that we are hiding, and showing only the essential details. That is the abstraction basically. Hiding the implementing these details and showing the only essential details. That is the abstraction. And the encapsulation in binding data in function into a single into single entity, binding this in a single entity. That is called the encapsulation. Okay, that is the encapsulation, binding data in functions into single entities. So that's just the definition. That is the only the thing we have to understand. You could see the definitions also there. That is not related to the inheritance. Is that thing what I have explained you. Class method, static method. We should must know this whole thing. Dunder method we should know about the REPR, and the STR is very essential to understand. That we have explained you. Got it? So I think it is up to here in the initial state, it is sufficient in the OOPS. And when you apply this, you will get the concept deeply. But these are the basic of this OOPS. Okay. So now we understand the iterator. Iterators means the replication, the repetition, we could say, the not the repetition, the iterator will one by one we will iterate it. So the iterator is an object that contains a countable number of values, and it is an object that contains a countable number of values. The iterator is an object that can be iterated open, meaning that you can traverse through all the values, okay, one by one. Technically, in Python, iterator is an object which implements the iterator protocol, which consists of the method itr and next. Na? Itr and next. Iterators was a iterable. List, tuple, dictionary, and sets are all iterable objects. They are iterable containers which you can get an iterator from. All these objects have an iter method which is used to get an iterator. So I will explain you. Return an iterator from a tuple and the print each value. So we are creating one tuple here with some fruits name like the apple, banana, and cherry. And we are using the iter function for the iteration of the my tuple. And I am giving it my iteration, MIT, might. So I will print next might. So I will get the apple. Then I will again, if I use again the same print I'm demanding again and again. So next time I will get the banana, next time I will get the cherry. So this is a iterator. If I remove this, so in this way, the next time if I uncomment next, then what I will get, the next time I will get banana, and then I comment, then I get the cherry. So even string are iterable. If you write the banana or whatever, and you write that an iter, and you do it, so how many are there? You have to see the value and the countable. It should be the countable. So there are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have the 6. So 6 times I have written here. So I will get in this way. Where is it? Got it? Now the looping through an iterator. We can also use a for loop to iterate through the iterable objects. So we have already used it in the previous case. So my tuple and x in the my tuple and the print x. So we will get the iterable way. This is all thing one by one. And the banana also, we could use the banana. I just use it in this way, and you will get this. Create an iterator. To create an object class as an iterator, you have to implement the method itr and next to your object. As you have learned in the Python class objects chapter, all classes have a function called init, and which allows you to do some initializing when the object is being created. The iter method acts similar. You can do the operations, initializing, etc., but must always return the iterator object itself. The next method also allows you to do operations and must return the next time in the sequence. So create an iterator that returns numbers starting with 1, and each sequence will increase by 1. So we will return in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So class my numbers, I define it. I just why it is in this way. So that was the reason. Okay. So define instead of init, you see here is itr, and the self is the default parameter self dot a is equal to 1 from and return self, and the define next self, and the x is equal to self dot a, and self dot a is equal to plus equal to 1, so it will increase 1 by 1 and return x. So here you see the my class, my number is my class, and I'm giving the object, creating one object, the my class, and my iter I am creating the iter like this. I am taking iter is a function which we have used, the iter method we are using here, my class, and then the next time applying, we will see that. The cell dot A is expected to indented block. Cell dot A. Just a moment. Indented block.
So I think you have to give indentation for each and every statement inside the function.
Oh, it's working. The indentation is we have to give in this way. So in R, there is no requirement of this sort of indentation. Only in the conditional statement in the some loops we use it. Here you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we are getting. How many times if you write the again print next. Sorry. In this way, you could get the iteration. Okay. Stop iterations. So we see the example above would continue forever if you had enough next statements or it was used in the for loop. To prevent the iteration to go to forever, we can use the stop iteration statement. The next method, which we can add a terminating condition to raise an error if the iteration is done a specific number of times. So you see, it is the self. It is the same as I have used. I will just see. Else invalid syntax. Sorry, just try to indent it.
Huh? Oh. Okay. Ayo ninkola. Sebra ndio ndio kalka.
No, it's okay. So here you see, this is the same as we have written here, this one. But in the next statement where I have x is equal self dot a and the self dot a plus equal to 1 and the return x I have written there. So here I have made some changes. You will see I have put one self condition, if condition, sorry. If self dot a is smaller than or equal to 20, then okay. Then x does it is same up to here. This condition I have put here. The else raise stop indentation. If it is greater than 20, then it will stop the iterations. And I use the my class, the my number, then the enter. So then this my iter I have used in the for loop. So we are getting this in this way. Does that make sense to everyone? How does this iteration works? Yes. Okay. So indentation is very, very important in the Python. Some whenever you get some error, you see what sort of error is. Mostly we get the indentation error, and we have to do the proper indentation there. And tomorrow we see the scope, local scope, and this all. Okay, function inside function, global scope, and naming variable, global keyword, and this is the small. And then we see this Python module and how to create a module in Python. So we'll see variables in module and this all. Okay. Then we see some date time, which we have used in one example in the class date time, and we study this all. That is very important in the science time series analysis and that moment. And the Python JSON is the syntax for storing and exchanging data, and you will see a little bit about it. But and then the Python variables, to that is the third. No. Okay. Then we will start after this the Python JSON. We will use the NumPy and the pandas. Okay. And then we do the exploratory data analysis, whatever if we have in this course. So I think it's sufficient for today. Now everybody got the concept of oops or not? What do you say? Little bit. It's now clear. There is a lots of practice required. Lots of practice required. The teaching of oops is not a simple task because we are not making some program at that moment, the big program where you could see the implementation of this. We have to choose a small examples, and through which we have to explanation is very, very important. Sometimes it depends on your mood. If sometimes our mood is good, then we could the mind creates a very good examples for explanation. And yeah, we use these oops in the data science, in the chatbot creation, and the some other algorithm of what we use. There we use these oops concept. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, Sally?
sir, like, yes, last 3 days class you will be sharing all together.
I will share together. Okay, I have not shared. I think that the last 2 days.
Oh,
Yesterday's session was not so much interactive, so I will not share.
so actually yesterday I missed, so I wanted to know,
No,
like,
the same
I
thing,
joined 7.
was there, but it was not up to the proper mark label.
Okay,
So I repeat the whole session today.
okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
I repeat the yesterday's whole session today.
Okay.
Yes, Vijay, is it clear to you today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aditya, you were late today?
No, I was there from starting, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you got the concept of oops.
Yes, slowly, I mean, I am able to understand the programs and class methods, the steps you are teaching.
Yes, yes.
But I agree Raj's point that we need some
No,
practice.
you need lots of practice. When I have learned these oops concepts,
Yeah,
so it took 15 days to me understand the thing.
right.
So it take very long time. We could implement it. I implement this, but to explanation is not so easy for the oops.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
for the teaching is not as much as easy.
right.
So that's the problem, because it is the concept of the developer, for the developer, and basically they use this mostly. So in the data science, I could explain each and everything in the better way. The concept of data science.
Mhm.
This is the concept of programming language.
Right, sir.
So I will make good example later on. After some time, the people will stuck, the participant will stuck. Then I will create some more example. Then I will get some perfect example.
Mhm.
So still I have taken the employee and this programmer through the IT part and given this example for the inheritance, and it comes with the practice. You do the
Sir,
practice. Yes, Alka.
sir, like I can say like it is compared to the other part, it little tough for me this part, but I just want to know like for data science, there is any alternative for oops, so we
Ha,
can
we have alternatives for the oops. It is not compulsory to use the oops in the data analytics part. We don't use
okay,
the oops in the data analytics. We use the oops in the some other AI application when we create the machine
okay,
learning application when we create. Then we use this oops concept. Otherwise, in the analytics part, there is no requirement of this.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And this, I don't know, the phone name is coming iPhone. Yes. Uh,
My name is Shubha
okay. So
from Tamil. Hmm.
you could rename yourself. So okay,
Okay.
there is a option for the rename. Are you getting that option for renaming?
Okay. I checked.
There is a okay. What is your name? I rename it. Okay. What is the spelling? Can you? So
My name is Shubha.
SU. Okay. You have done it. You have done it. Okay. Subha. Okay. Yesterday you have text message WhatsApp about the this amount deposit this
Materials. Yes.
material. Okay, I will share the material today. I have not uploaded the material for last 2 or 3 days, so I will upload it and give it to you. Okay, so I will.
After downloading Python, next day class onwards, send the materials, sir.
Every material from the first day you will get.
Okay.
Okay, on the same link you will get the day wise all material. Okay, and the video recordings also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So thanks everybody. We wind up it and we meet tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.